Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Friday, August 1st, 2025. After days of searching, deputies used a taser on a man wanted for allegedly slashing a woman with a knife. On July 6th, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says that Jonathan O'Reilly, 38, trespassed into a home in the 61,000 block of El Raposo Street in Joshua Tree. Deputies responded and say O'Reilly fled the scene, and they issued a warrant for his arrest. On July 25th, at around 10 p.m., deputies say that a woman was slashed with a large knife near the intersection of Commercial Street and Veterans Way in Joshua Tree. The victim was taken to High Desert Medical Center for sutures and treatment for her injuries. Deputies say that witnesses identified the suspect in the slashing as O'Reilly and that deputies were again unable to locate him. The Morongo Basin Sheriff's Station said that O'Reilly had been the subject of at least 10 reports since the warrant for his arrest was issued on July 6th. On Tuesday, deputies located O'Reilly near the intersection of 29 Palms Highway and Sunfair Avenue in Joshua Tree. Deputies say he attempted to flee on foot, but that they were able to catch up with him. They say he resisted arrest, and deputies used a taser to subdue him. O'Reilly was taken into custody without further incident and was screened at High Desert Medical Center for possible injuries. Jonathan O'Reilly was arrested on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon, mayhem, and domestic violence. He is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $230,000 bail. A reckless driver was arrested on suspicion of driving on a suspended license and being in possession of methamphetamine. Early Thursday morning, just before 3 a.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of a reckless driver in a white Toyota Tacoma near 29 Palms Highway and Lear Avenue in 29 Palms. Deputy L. Gonzalez located the vehicle on the highway near Sun Evers Road and conducted a traffic stop. They identified the driver as Stephen Poe, a 60-year-old resident of Morongo Valley, and say that during the stop, they discovered he was driving on a suspended license. Deputies say they found Poe to be in possession of suspected methamphetamine and that more was found during a further search of the car. Poe was also found to have at least 2 prior convictions for drug possession. Stephen Poe was arrested on suspicion of possessing dangerous drugs and driving on a suspended license and is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $30,000 bail. The Yucca Valley Animal Shelter has been making headlines for initiating changes to their protocols and procedures, made possible not by isolated outreach, but a network of action-oriented volunteers. Here's reporter Adeline J. Wells with more on how calls for change became an organized local movement that yielded results.
The town of Yucca Valley has been overhauling its operations of the Yucca Valley Animal Shelter. In addition to changes such as the creation of volunteer and foster programs, establishing rescue partnerships, and hiring new staff, the town recently announced the impending retirement of controversial animal care and control manager Doug Smith. Yucca Valley resident James Porter has been a vocal leader in the efforts demanding change at the shelter. Following the announcement, he stated that the development was met with approval from the network of community members.
We were happy to see Doug retire. There's a lot of people in this group who think that he is the root of a lot of the problems at the shelter, and his exit is a welcome change. We're very optimistic that some of the positive progress that's happened over the last few months will take hold and will be the direction of whoever the new shelter manager is, and we'll see improvement.
The efforts for change at the Yucca Valley Animal Shelter have largely been community-driven. In February, concerned citizens began attending the bi-monthly meetings of the town council to voice issues with the shelter and its management. This prompted the town to announce a 90-day operational review, during which the town created and began to execute a variety of new improvement initiatives. The group of residents continued attending meetings and pushing for swifter change, which intensified following the story of Howdy, a Maltese who was neglected while at the Yucca Valley Animal Shelter. A protest was held on June 30th in response to that issue, and as Joshua Tree resident Allie Irwin noted on the date of the protest, a collaborative local effort.
There's a coalition of folks here from all parts of the basin at this protest. For example, the fellow on the megaphone is a member or a organizer of Indivisible Morongo, and he is a dog lover, and he cares about the community, and so he showed up with this megaphone to participate and help lead this. We have developed a muscle for organizing and taking to the streets this year for hyper-local issues, mobilized for national issues. We are now mobilized for hyper-local issues.
Joshua Tree resident Melissa Spur noted that community members have each contributed their unique skills to further the efforts for change. Some residents, such as Porter, have been influential in speaking at council meetings and assembling concerned citizens. Others have contributed time researching, writing letters to the town, submitting public records requests, and organizing online. The citizens created a social media group dedicated to their efforts to improve shelter operations and another to coordinate around electing new leadership to the council.
It's amazing working on something local like this because there are people, just a really diverse group of people that I didn't even know before this, and everybody seems to care about animals, no matter where they stand politically, socially, whatever. Everybody cares, and that has been really encouraging.
Town officials, including council members and town manager Curtis Yakimo, have voiced appreciation for public engagement through bureaucratic channels, such as public comment and direct communication with staff.
That's essential to any public government, and it's the right of the taxpayer to know where their funds are going, how they're spent. They have information that they want to share with the council or the public, recommendations. It's a great forum for them to do that in public comment.
When asked about the future of this organized community action, Spur remained positive.
I'm very optimistic, cautiously optimistic about what the town is going to do, but optimistic about the community. I mean, this whole process has shown me that we come together and we're persistent and we will be there every step of the way. I see improvements on the horizon. I think they're motivated to change, and we're motivated to help them where we can and to keep an eye on the process.
Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
Pioneer Days is seeking nominations for the celebration's judge and sheriff roles. This year's Pioneer Days celebration is the 89th annual event that commemorates the history of 29 Palms, and the judge and sheriff are the ceremonial roles that lead the fun. The city of 29 Palms says these titles will recognize residents who reflect the spirit, service, and strength of 29 Palms. The judge will be someone who embodies the spirit of service, while the sheriff will represent a force for the future. The nomination period opens today and runs through the end of the month. Nominees must be available to speak at the Toast to 250 mixer on October 16th and participate in the Pioneer Days Parade on October 18th in downtown 29 Palms. All nominations will be reviewed by the City of 29 Palms, who will make the final selection. City employees, committee members, commissioners, and council members are not eligible for consideration. You can find more about nominations at 29palms.org. And finally, on the first Saturday of every month, and that's tomorrow, Copper Mountain Mesa holds their pancake breakfast at the community center from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Annalise Kuiper has more.
This Saturday, Copper Mountain Mesa Community Center is the place to be. The all-volunteer crew awaits your order so it can be prepared and served just the way you like it. Kip slow cooks the gluten-free oatmeal and fresh squeezes the oranges for your morning shot of vitamin C. Desert Rat Roasters provide the delicious coffee that's going to get your day started right. For only $12 or $6 for a senior half portion or kids meal, you get juice, coffee or tea, eggs cooked your way served with bacon or sausage, pancakes, hash browns and toast or biscuit and gravy, and a vegan scramble is also served if you prefer. Enjoy your meal in a jolly good chin wag surrounded by all your favorite neighbors from far and wide. And don't forget the treasure thrift room where you can browse to your heart's content and find the items you've been looking for. Located at the Copper Mountain Mesa Community Center, 65336 Winters Road in far north Joshua Tree. The breakfast is on Saturday, August 2nd from 8 to 11 a.m. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.